All right, what's up, everybody? This is a quick video to kind of go over what's happening with DeWALT and their recall. So, if you haven't heard, they're recalling over 1.4 million miter saws. All right, now word on the street is they known about the issue for a while. I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I kind of feel like it's a possibility they did, just because of the way they're repairing them. Okay. So we'll get into that. Well, basically, instead of replacing it, they're sending people out a repair kit. And that tells me that, yeah, they're trying to save money, because these things are $5.99 a piece. 1.4 times 1.4 million, that's over $1 billion. And, they're not trying to spend that money. Even though a person trying to repair this themselves, they might not do it successfully, and they could still cut themselves, and that will still open DeWALT up to lawsuits. But guess what? It won't cost $1 billion, and a lot of companies do that. If you didn't know, they know stuff is dangerous, but they know that the person that sues them, they could pay them $3 million, $5 million, $10 million, and it would still be less money than if they just had integrity and fixed the thing properly the first time around. So let's get into what the recall is. So it affects models DWS 779, 780, and the DHS 790. We know the 779, 780 are super popular, hence the 1.4 million. The plastic rear guard assembly can break it or shatter when struck, exposing the saw blade and posing a laceration hazard. So I actually made this video yesterday, and my first comment, they said that basically I had it wrong on what is shattering. So the plastic rear guard assembly. So I'm thinking that it's either this or this. I mean, this is not technically in the rear, but when you pull it down, it does move back to the rear, and this is to protect you from a laceration hazard. But I can see, if you pull it down hard enough, this will slap back and it could shatter. And when you let it go, the blade could cut you. To me, that's what's happening. But they were saying it's something different, and in that the blade won't cut you. It's just when this shatters, it can cut you. I don't know, maybe, but to me, it says exposing the saw blade and posing a laceration hazard. So that's how I got to where I'm thinking. So we already covered what models it affects. The date codes. Okay, so this is also a reason why people think they've known about it for a while, because it affects miter saws built between April 2019 and April 2022. Here's how the date codes will look on the units. It says if your saw does not have a date code or you cannot locate it, please reach out and contact them. And it's going to be on the stamp, which is usually on the motor. On the back side of the motor has all the information. You should see the date code over on the motor somewhere right there. Or I don't know if this is the back or what. They didn't really show us a zoomed out photo with an arrow pointing so we could really see. It says if the saw is marked with green or black dots as indicated in either of these two locations, it has already been inspected and is not affected. So underneath the handle here, you'll see a black or green dot, and also on the label again, you would see a dot if it has been inspected. Now, if your miter saw is affected, which mine is one of them, it says to stop using it immediately and fill out this request form for a repair kit. So that is it. If you have one of these affected units, make sure you fill out this form. I'll leave a direct link in the description to get you a repair kit as soon as possible. Now, that is not the only recall from this year. I want to cover the other one. Less people had these chainsaws, so it wasn't widely, talked about. But there is a recall on the DWCS 600 18-inch chainsaws, as DeWALT has identified a potential safety issue where affected chainsaws might run. There's a defect here too. There should be a recall on this grammar. It should be an S on this chainsaw. Might run when the switch is off and create an injury hazard. You think this thing runs when it's off? So yeah, now these they're just replacing, probably because again it's not that many out there in the wilderness. So it just says if your chainsaw is affected, stop using it immediately. Call this number or email them and get information about a replacement chainsaw. So there you have it. Hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you know what's going on now. Stay safe with these tools, and I will see you guys next time.